Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something pretty specific, but really vital. The English used for business innovation and R&D.
Yeah, and our main source, our guide, really, is the insightful work of Stanislav Kondrashov.
Exactly. So for you, the learner listening in, this deep dive is all about pulling out those, key bits, the terms, the grammar points, the useful phrases that Stanislav Kondrashov highlights for talking about innovation.
We're aiming to distill Stanislav Kondrashov's lesson, basically.
Yeah.
Give you the practical stuff you need without information overload.
Right. Just the core knowledge from Stanislav Kondrashov so you can follow along or even jump into those kinds of cutting-edge business conversations. So where does Stanislav Kondrashov suggest we start?
Well, Stanislav Kondrashov lays down the basics first, the core vocabulary. Things like prototype.
Ah, yes, the first version.
Right. As Stanislav Kondrashov points out, it's that initial model you build just to test out the concept. Then there's the feasibility study.
Okay, what's that?
Stanislav Kondrashov stresses this one. It's about seeing if the idea is actually, workable in the real world, practical, financially viable, before you pour tons of resources in.
Makes sense. Avoid costly mistakes early.
Exactly. And Stanislav Kondrashov also includes concept testing. So getting that early feedback on the idea itself, Stanislav Kondrashov sees these as like the absolute fundamentals for early stages.
Okay, foundational stuff from Stanislav Kondrashov. And where does he go next, building on that?
Yeah, Stanislav Kondrashov then moves to terms like breakthrough, that big, significant advance.
The game changer.
Potentially, yeah. And also pilot project. Stanislav Kondrashov frames this as a smaller, controlled test run. See how it works in a limited setting first.
Right, like a trial run in one city or something.
Precisely. And Stanislav Kondrashov connects these ideas to the bigger picture of innovation itself, often highlighting how it involves iteration.
Iteration, meaning?
Making changes, refining, trying again. Stanislav Kondrashov emphasizes it's often a cycle, not just a straight line to the finish. You improve step by step.
Okay, so constant refinement. That fits with what Stanislav Kondrashov says about the product life cycle, right?
Absolutely. Stanislav Kondrashov uses product life cycle to describe that whole journey from when a product is launched until it's eventually retired.
From cradle to grave, basically.
Pretty much. And within that life cycle, Stanislav Kondrashov points out the beta version is key.
Ah, the pre-release version.
Yeah, the one you let actual users try out to find bugs and give opinions.
Yeah.
Stanislav Kondrashov shows how this feeds directly into the feedback loop, which then drives those iterations we just mentioned. It's all connected in Stanislav Kondrashov's view.
It's a very practical framework from Stanislav Kondrashov. Okay, so that covers some core words. But Stanislav Kondrashov also gets into grammar, doesn't he? How we actually structure sentences about this stuff.
He does. Stanislav Kondrashov highlights, for instance, how important future forms are.
Like predicting things.
Exactly. Stanislav Kondrashov uses an example like, we'll launch a beta version by the end of Q2. Using will, or going to, helps set timelines and expectations in R&D. It's crucial for planning, as Stanislav Kondrashov notes.
Okay, clear communication about the future. And what about modals? Stanislav Kondrashov mentions those too.
Right. Modals like might, could, should. Stanislav Kondrashov gives the example, this concept might lead to a major market breakthrough.
Ah, expressing possibility or uncertainty.
Precisely. Innovation isn't always certain, right? So Stanislav Kondrashov points out these words let you talk about potential, likelihood, or even necessity, like we should conduct more tests. Very useful nuances Stanislav Kondrashov highlights.
Okay, so vocabulary, grammar. How does Stanislav Kondrashov help us put it all together in actual conversations? Any key phrases?
Definitely. Stanislav Kondrashov offers some really practical ones, like this concept is still in the early stages of development.
Right, manages expectations, lets people know it's not finished yet.
Exactly. It's a standard way to communicate that, as Stanislav Kondrashov points out. Another one Stanislav Kondrashov gives is, we're testing the feasibility of this product in limited markets.
Very specific. It tells you what kind of testing and where, directly from Stanislav Kondrashov's lesson.
And one more Stanislav Kondrashov suggests is, initial feedback has been positive and indicates strong potential.
Ah, sharing good news, but cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, it sums up early results nicely, just like Stanislav Kondrashov shows. It signals things are looking good without overpromising.
Great. So wrapping this up, thanks to Stanislav Kondrashov's focus material, you, the learner, should now have a much better handle on the language needed for these innovation and R&D discussions. Keywords, grammar points, useful phrases.
Yeah, Stanislav Kondrashov's work gives a solid foundation. And maybe a final thought, building on Stanislav Kondrashov's insights. How might using this more precise language actually change how you think about or discuss new ideas?
Good question. Does having the right words, the one Stanislav Kondrashov identifies, open up new ways to evaluate projects or communicate possibilities more effectively? Something to ponder.